Okay, so what we're going to do now is create a site, and then we're going to set up our site definitions so that we can upload some files. So to begin, we're going to go up to Site, New Site, and I'm going to name this Homework. Now I can use a capital here because this is only going to be recognized within my own home computer. Okay, I'm not going to send this site name out to this server. Then I need to identify where the local site folder is. That's going to be the folder that's going to contain your homework files. Or, if you set up another site, you always set a site up within a folder, and all of your files contained in that are going to be what's going to be distributed to your web server. So I'm going to click on local site folder, and I'm going to go to on my local computer. That's what you'll be looking at, your own computer or a flash drive or whatever it is that you've got that you're saving your files onto. I'm going to go find the file that I want, or the folder that I want, and I'm in summer 2011, and I'm going to make a new folder right here. You could do this now too, and I'm just going to call this homework. And this is where we're going to put the initial files for your web page. Now, since this is actually going to be on the web, the homework folder will be, I'm going to make it with a small h, just because when we have files on the web, it's a good idea to use just lowercase letters instead of uppercase, and no spaces in between. So I wouldn't want to say homework for me. If I wanted to have something that was a little bit longer, I would use underscores in there. Okay, and no spaces. What spaces do is they create some weird characters when files are uploaded. So no spaces, all lowercase, and I'm going to get rid of just for me for now. Okay, so I'm going to create that. So now we've got a folder called homework, and within that folder I'm going to use whatever files are going to be populated in here as my site. So we're going to be sticking all of our homework files within this site. Okay, so that's basically setting up the root folder. So we click on choose. So we've got our local site folder set up. Now we have to set up our remote site, and hopefully by now you have a place to do this, which would have been on the Fine Arts, West Liberty Fine Arts server. I'm going to select servers now, and we're going to go down to this plus sign right here. We're going to add the server, so this will be the path name to the server for you to upload your files to. So clicking on this, the server name, you can just call this, I'm going to call this summer homework 2011. Now, I'm allowed to use spaces and uppercase here because this is just identifying this to me on my local computer. It's not going to be sending a file called this over the internet. Okay, we're going to connect using FTP, File Transfer Protocol. FTP address is going to be students.westliberty.edu. Username, now I'm going to use a former student, because I know that is online, and you are going to put your student, your first initial and your last name right there. Okay, leave it at port 21. Password, for the password you're going to use your student ID number. And you can change this later on, but for now that's what it's going to be. And we can hit test to see if it's actually going to work. And this should say that you've connected successfully to the web server. So what this did is it sent out a little ping file over to students.westliberty.edu, and it said, take a look for this username and this password, if it exists, then it's connected successfully. So we click on OK and we're in. And that's pretty much all you have to do. Now, your web URL, once you get your site up, it's going to be http students.westliberty.edu/ and then whatever your name is, your first letter and last name. But right now you can leave that alone. But for future reference, that's what it's going to be. Okay, so we're going to click on save. And now we've got a site set up, and we click save again. Alright, and you should see this files screen. If you don't see this, it's under Window, Files. Okay, you can turn it off, you can turn it on. Alright, and this says local files. This is going to show you whatever files that you've created in here. We don't have any created yet, but we will. And if you click on this little button, this is going to expand the window here. So we're going to be able to see both local and remote sites. So I'm going to click on that. And now we've got the homework site, which is on our local computer. And if we click this little connection button right here, that's going to connect us to the remote host. Now, yours will probably just have a folder and a little hash mark, and there won't be anything else in here. This is all in here because this student worked on this past semester, and all of her work is sitting on her remote server. Okay. Now what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up throwing files from here to there. Okay. So I think what I'll do right now is be done with it, because right now we've gone as far as I want to do in terms of setting up a site. So if you need to go through this again, use the back buttons, reverse, whatever you need to do. That's how you're going to set up your site. And you'll do this for each site that you create. For instance, she had a few different homework sites over here. She had a final project here. She had another project that she worked on. Each one of those is a folder with some different files in it. And you can see that as her sites get more and more complex, more of these files are going to be in them. Okay. So the idea here is we've got two windows. This is our local, this is our remote. We're going to be putting files from our local to remote as we work on them. Alright, that's setting up a site.